welcome you all in this educational video of NIOS. This is subject Library and Information Science, code number 339. This video is for senior secondary level. We are doing lesson number 10. Name of the lesson is Processing of Library Material. In this lesson, we will be discussing about the two main processes. The first one is classification and the second is cataloging. This video is part 4. We already covered few content of this lesson in previous parts from 1 to 3. Now in this section, we would be discussing the functions of library classification. Mainly, if we talk about the functions, the main functions of library classification can be categorized as these which you can see on screen. The first one is notation and the second is shelf arrangement. Because in library we put all the books in the shelf. Let us now understand the term notation. We will understand it in points. Point 1. Notation is the system of symbols used to represent the classes in a classification system. We all know that there are different symbols. Like in India, we have a symbol for rupees. Similarly, there are different symbols which are used for different items or different things. Point 2. It is essential in every scheme of classification as it serves as a symbol in place of a term. So, in library also it is used. Point 3. Notation makes up the class number and it can be described as the standard abbreviation of the classification scheme. So, in library you must have seen in every book there is a number written and notations are used for that purpose. Point 4. System of providing notation is referred to as notational system. Let us now understand the notational system is consist of what all things. So you can see on screen that it consists of mainly 4 different things. The first one is Arabic numerals. And the second is Roman letters. In this, both type of letters comes, small and capital both. The third type of notation is the punctuation mark. In this, the comma, the full stop, and all those punctuation marks comes under this. And the fourth notation system type is mathematical symbols. Let us now understand the qualities of a good notation. Every notation which is considered good, they should have the following qualities. These are mainly 3 qualities. The first one is simplicity. The second is brevity. And the third one is pronounceable. So these 3 are the important qualities of a good notation. And in library, we use notations quite often. Now here on screen you can see examples. On the one side, in one column, you can see the subject's name. The subject's name written are education, chemistry, library science, history. You all must be aware of different subjects. And the middle column, in this, you can see the word DDC is written. Let me tell you, DDC is a notation which is used internationally. So let me tell you. In the first column, subject, you can see the word education. So the notation for education is 370. And the important thing is this code, this DDC, C means code. This code is similar all over India and all over the world as well. And similarly for chemistry, the notation used is 540. And similarly for library science subject, the notation which is used is 020. So these are all international codes which we can say that they are used at international level. And similarly, the third column which you can see is notation in CC, that is used in India. So these are also the codes which we call as notation. For education, the code used is T. For chemistry, it is E. For library science, it is 2. And for history, it is V. So what we understood is the middle column is used for international purpose and the last column CC is used for our own Indian libraries. Here you can see in the previous slide we had seen only few examples. Now let us understand them in more detail. On screen you can see some numbers and some subject's name. So let me tell you the first number 000, that is used for the subject generalities. Then 100, that is used for philosophy and psychology. Then 200 is a code which is used for religions. After that 300, it is used for social sciences. And then 400, it is used for language. 500 is used for natural sciences and mathematics. 600 is used for technology and applied sciences. After that 700 is used for the arts. After that 800 is used for literature and rhetoric. And after that 900 is used for geography and history. So these are the different codes with different subjects. So in place of subjects only these codes are used and you all must remember all these codes. Now here on screen you can see a word call number. And below that you can see few round colored boxes. In that something is written. So let me explain you about this call number. In library books, you must have seen that the books are given some numbers. So that numbers which is given to the books, they are all called as book number, or we can also call them as call number. So that is the call number, means we call the book with that number. So that is why we name it as call number. And how that call number is given, that we will explain further. Now let us understand the DDC. DDC is Dewey Decimal Classification. In brief, we call it as DDC. As we already have discussed that it is an international classification system. So the example which is given on screen is a book entitled as Principles of Physics, and it is written by P.V. Nayak. We'll have the following call number according to the DDC. So how that number would be given? So let me explain you. Because in our previous table, in a few slides ago, we had seen that D code is used for the books with subject education. So for that we have used D. After that, if we remember that 530 is also a code. The third part of this call number is the name of the writer. Here you can see the name of the writer is P.V. Nayak. So we will take the 3 alphabets of the name Nayak, N-A-I. So that is why we have chosen N-A-I. So this is the rule how we give the name to the book. So that is why we have chosen 3 alphabets only. Now the final number which we will give to the book is, you can see on screen, it is D530 NAI. So this is the number of the book, or you can say the call number of the book in a DDC method, which is international method. Let me explain you again. D is the code which is used for the subject education. After that, 530 is the subject code which we had seen in the previous slide, and after that the third thing is the name of the author. We already have understood the DDC classification, which is international. Now here CC, it is colon classification. It is the Indian classification system. So this also we need to understand. In this also there are basically 3 partitions which you can see on screen. Now example, you can see that the book entitled Elementary Education by M.K. Sengupta, published in the year 1972, will have the following call number according to colon classification. Now here you can see the blue colored code number. So T is the code given for the education subject, and after that number 15 is given for further subdivisions. And the second part of this call number is N72. So N is used for the year, N means number, that is for 19. As we can see in the question, it is 1972. So N can be considered that it is used as 19. And then 72 is a year number. And the third part where we can see T and D. So T is the education and D is the department, because the book belongs to the education department. So that is why this call number will come in this book. So I hope it is clear. Let me tell you again. First, T is for the education. After that, number 15 is the subdivision of the topic. After that, the year comes. It is N. 72 is the year of printing or year of edition. And the third is teaching department. So there are basically 2 ways. The first one is DDC, it is international, and this CC is the Indian method. In our previous slide, we had understood about the DDC, codes, and also different subject codes we understood. But now here you can see the table, which is the classification used for CC, for our Indian classification. For different subjects, different codes are given. You can see all these names which are shown here on screen. You can see them. You can try to find all these codes yourself by going to the library and finding the book codes yourself. And that way you will be able to understand in a better way. Thank you.